Hi everyone, and welcome to our first ever Frenzy Hunters podcast with two of the fellow members of the Frenzy Fury Hunters. Would you two would like to introduce yourselves?
I,
First.
I am Arpor.
Where is the amour?
Where's the Arpor? Otherwise known as LK.
And I am CAJman777, also known as J-Man in the games. And just for today in this special podcast, I wore my Chibi Mercado shirt, and it is adorable, and I love it.
But we are the Frenzy cast.
We are the Frenzied Cast. This
Oh,
is
yes.
the Frenzied Cast. We are the Frenzied Fury Hunting Guild.
Yes. If you want to know why we call ourselves the Frenzy Fury Hunters, you can ask the original two members of the guild. Right.
Well, I mean, it was only named that by
It was
Gen
named.
4.
Yeah, it was named that after the 4th gen. 3rd gen, I think we called ourselves something close to it. I just can't remember. And then it just turned into the Frenzied Fury Hunters. So
That was a good. That was actually a good name.
and that name stuck. That name has stuck because we grinded the hell out of all those frenzied monsters.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Every last one of them died.
Everything.
Everything. But anyways, today we have some nice topics to start off with. We have a armor set of the month to show you guys off. That will be later in the podcast. We also have today our top 5 hated and most loved monsters in the entire Monster Hunter series. That's going to be really interesting to start, and we're going to end up starting with that. We also have some Monster Hunter related news to discuss, and anything else anyone wants to add with weapons and whatnot.
Yes,
Oh, Yummy, in the Discord, can you send a link to this?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll get that sorted.
I
first,
believe
right?
it's also in the chat already. It is there.
Is it?
The direct.
Oh.
The direct's in the Monster Hunter chat.
That is not what I was talking about. I meant the
Oh.
podcast itself.
podcast itself.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to send it on Facebook.
Send
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Do it.
Yes, I'll do
Yeah,
that
so
now.
I guess let's start with our first topic of discussion. Now, wait, do we actually want to go hated or liked?
Well, I think we want to go hated first. We want to get the
No,
salt
I think
out now.
you want to go hated, right?
I want to get the salt out now. I am
Yes.
a salty person
All right.
when it comes to monsters
So-
in this game.
So wait, essentially how this works so far is that we talk about all of our number 5, so our 5th place, and then we go up, work up the ranks, so we work up to eventually all our number 1.
All of our number 1 hated and most loved monsters in Monster Hunter. So, I mean, Yami, if you want to start us off, because you don't really have much you hate.
Yeah.
You're only one hated.
Yes.
He only really has one he hates. Louis and I, however, are going to go on a rant.
Yes, the only one I hate, I only will call it the ice version of Kiram because they know how to pronounce the original name of this, the subspecies version.
Hiroshi.
Orochi, yes. Because the reason I hated it, because it was so bloody annoying, you couldn't freaking hit it. And if you don't dodge its ice blight on time, it does a lot of damage.
That's too much damage. I remember getting hit with it, but I didn't really have too much of a problem with that.
Yeah, and I was trying
Although, granted, I was using a charge blade back and forth, and I bodied the damn thing.
I was using dual blades when the sharpness wears off quite quickly.
Yeah, true. Especially with all the deflections when that thing hardens its...
Yes,
Body,
it's
so.
annoying.
Yeah, it's very annoying.
It's like, I want to strangle it!
All right,
At that point, I would strangle it.
so I guess that's Yami's only one hated on his top
Yes,
5.
Yami's
So-
only hated.
So our number 5th place hated for me and James. Let's see what yours is. Go first.
Me?
We got to see if we didn't just put our thing in the same spot. we
Yeah,
didn't
number
discuss
5
all of
for me. Number 5 for me on the hate list is actually the Gravios. The reason I don't like the Gravios very much at all, even in any gen, he had way too much health for his own good, and he just spammed the crap out of everything. Forget about the tail swipes and hit checks. How about a giant flaming beam every 3 seconds? I mean, granted, it's easy to dodge, but god damn it, he did it too much. And 4, how he gives off the steam release in the G rank, which also does damage to you. It's like, fuck!
Well, for me, this one is specific monster to Gen 4, or at least Monster Hunter 4, and it's Rajang, but only the mission where you're trying to get all the Legend of Zelda gear, because he's frenzied with 2 other monsters, and it was a pain in the ass. Like, that was the worst part. Is that we tried for maybe.
We tried for
it was like 4 weeks
hours?
or so.
Yeah, we tried for 4. We tried for 6 hours.
Actually, I think most of that time was
one particular day.
Yeah, I think most of that time was us
and either you
grinding to get to it too. Yes. Remember?
And the thing was, either you were getting bodied, or our other teammates were getting bodied.
Well, I mean, there's no other way. It's either the monsters only go after me,
or they go after everyone else. Not you.
No, or they evenly split it amongst everyone else. Because, like, okay,
and then
here's the thing. It wasn't until
this
game, to let the people know who are watching it, it was only until this game where the monsters were going after everyone evenly, and everyone was evenly dying. Before, it was all like, oh, he's healing.
Oh, he's healing. Let me turn this way.
That was the worst part in Try, because, like, my luck was so terrible. It was, like, almost, like, every single time. What was the I got Aggravator?
Yeah, you got Provoker.
I got Provoker it seemed like I got Provoker.
It seemed like he had the effect of Provoker, and my 3DS just went on red. That's not very good, because I have the armor set of the month to show off on that. For later, I need to.
But I guess we should go on, because Yami has nothing else to hate.
Yes. Number 4 for me, specific to one game only, and that would happen to be the Chaos Gormagala. The G-rank variant of the Gormagala can go fuck himself. Especially this one. This one being an urgent quest. Not only did this thing do a fuck ton of damage, even in the best armor in the game, even I went back after I had the full set of Brachydium armor maxed out, which was from the Raging Brachydios, and he's still doing over half my health. He also didn't really have a tendency to spam, but he only seemed to have a tendency, even when Louis was with me, to just solely target me. I don't know if it was because I was kicking his ass with the charge blade, or if it was because he didn't want to be mounted when I had the insect glaive.
I like that he mentioned specifically I was with you, and then he went and decided to go after you.
Yes! That's the only monster in any game that's really decided to solely go after me. I do not like him. He can go to hell. His body parts were also really, really hard, so if you didn't have a good sharpness amount, you're bouncing every time.
And at the time, we didn't.
Yeah, at the time, we were bouncing.
These are like past hates, too, by the way. Just because it changes all the time.
It does.
And that's the thing. These are our top 5 hated and top 5 loved for now, because they'll change every other week or so.
Damn right.
Or every other generation of Monster Hunter games coming out.
Mostly that, too. Because then we can, like, go on to the next generation. It's like, you know what? I actually appreciate that one.
I appreciate it now. Graveyard.
These ones are gen-specific, because my number 4 is Barath. But to the Try version. Now, the reason, like, I honestly don't hate it so much to now. But it was because when I was playing it for the first time, because that's how me and James really started.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing Try, and when I was, like, figuring it out and telling him about it, on all the stuff I was figuring out, I was trying to beat the Barath for literally 2 weeks.
Yeah, and we were like with him. Who beat him first? You beat him first.
This was before you had the game too. So
yeah, this was
before I was showing you, and I wasn't good at the game, but now I'm good. But
and neither was I.
Like, that was the point, though, is that, like, there was few monsters that were botting us. Like, I even got, like, this Barath is specifically all the hate of all the monsters that kicked my ass when I was first playing it.
He's healing. He's healing. I'm gonna charge him. He's trying to drink a potion. I'm gonna charge him.
No, see, it's like Royal Ludroth is in this category technically, because I had such trouble with him for the first time. Mostly because I thought the weak point. Wait, hold on. Mostly because I thought the weak point was his tail, like the wide part of his tail. I thought that's where you hit to kill him, and I always run out of time. And then Barath is there, Gobel was there, and then past that, the only one that you and me actually had trouble with was Elytra.
Yeah, Elytra could have been a.
Well, I mean,
Elytra was a bit of a pain at times.
Well, technically, I want to say that we also had such problem with Barioth because we were trying to earn the fire weapons from Rathalos. So we were in that trifecta zone where it was like the Rathalos, Barioth, Diablos. And it was just that time where like we couldn't really do the others without doing the one, and it was just like,
Yeah, and eventually it turned out to be like once we started working together, we bodied everything. But
I mean, we also were building weapons specific to the monsters we were hunting.
true, and now we've done that since forever.
Yes.
That is true. Like that this was the game that started the friendship.
This was the game that started.
Well, I wouldn't say started so much as kept it going.
Yeah, so that was cool. We've met through Monster Hunter, and that was just a really good experience.
I mean, technically, we met through Smash Bros.
We met through Smash Bros. But
then we actually bonded over this.
Yes. So on to my number 3, I suppose, on the hate list. We have the Kushala Daora, specifically in Generations. Fuck this man's Windora. I'm done with it. Get it out. I don't even care if I have a poison weapon. It doesn't do enough. Get it out.
Well, he guessed my number 1.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't like him specifically because you can't hit him unless you're like a gunner. I guess the Insect Glaive can technically hit him because we have
an aerial or any aerial style like I do.
and then
the aerial style does jack shit when he's got the window around him.
Yeah.
Also,
although you know what,
a little higher than I remember too.
I don't think we've tried Charge Blade though, Adept.
No, we have not tried Adept Charge Blade on him. What? No, you did.
It's gonna be much better. I did. Oh yeah, it didn't work that well.
You were using it. I was using aerial duels, and it was just a pain.
Yeah, we man. So I guess my number 1's gone.
Get him out of here.
Okay, well I guess in that case I'll just put it as the next one.
Louis, your number 3.
My number 3.
Yeah.
Laganga. Just because he's so rude.
He's so rude.
He's the body of a Rajang. With the annoyance of a Rajang. Without being a Rajang. And that's the worst part.
Without being a Monster Hunter.
You don't even have the decency to body me as like a Rajang, the high thing. Instead, it's just like he's way too fast for his own good.
I believe that. I agree with that.
Like he does way more damage than he really should for that level that you always fight him on.
Well, yeah, for the beginning of for Generations, yeah, he did a lot more damage than
well, I mean, like
I was expecting.
Even now, like even in our high rank, he can still do a pretty mean amount of damage.
The hyper one hits. The hyper one hits really hard too.
Yeah, that one can one punch you.
Yeah, like so that's the thing is like whereas with Rajang, you already know that the parts you're getting are going to be ultra high rank, so like then you don't really mind fighting a hard monster.
A hard monster.
But Laganga's just so useless. Like there's no reason to fight him most of the time.
His armor skill, his armor skills are shit. Everything about this monster is just shit.
I mean, not as much as the other monkey, Kongalala.
Yeah, the Lagonga is Kongalala and Rajang on crack.
Yeah, well, that's a phrase that throws shit at you and fart in your face.
Yeah, that's a monster. I'm just sick of it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So my number 2, I think, is also equal with Louis' number 2, and that is the Plesioth.
Actually, yeah, you just guessed mine too.
Yep.
I forgot. That was one we had that was one we had so much problem with.
This is not the Generations annoying Plesioth. This is the Monster Hunter Tri underwater combat annoying Plesioth. This is this one.
Wait, hold on.
This one.
Well, granted, though, it hasn't. Our love for it hasn't gotten much better throughout the things.
True.
If anything, it's only slightly better because we're not fighting him in water. But I mean, underwater combat was fun.
Underwater combat, especially against Plesioth, was just frustrating and aggravating. Plesioth moved too fast for his own good, and I just have two more words to describe Plesioth. Louis knows what it is. Hip check.
The hip check that can go at like subsonic speeds, and
it literally makes a sonic boom sound effect when he uses it. The developers know this, and they're using it to troll us, Louis. I'm telling you.
I know. It's terrible. Should I come up with another number 1 because you already got mine?
Yeah, I mean, if you can think of one off the top of your head, go ahead.
I mean, go with your number 1, and I'll see if I can find another one.
My number 1 is the Monster Hunter Tri variant of the Diablos.
I got my number 1.
There's a couple reasons
You
I didn't like the
finish.
Monster Hunter Tri version of the Diablos. For one, that roar when I first encountered that Diablos was annoying as fuck because he spammed it 3 times in a row when I made him mad that first hunt.
Almost like that
And then
Giganox hunt
proceeded
that had
and
7
what? Yeah, I had 7 roars in a row. That was annoying.
times
And then
roar.
he proceeded to charge me and cart me because of the stun lock. Because his animation on his roar has such a long stun lock. It's absolutely ridiculous. Not only that, but yes, you can use Sonic Bounce when he's underground. Not while he's enraged. And when he's enraged, he can dig underground and then jump out at you from the sand and charge you. Unlike Monster Hunter 4, where he had to jump straight out of the ground first and then run towards you. No, Monster Hunter Tri just went like, here's you, and here's the Diablos underground.
Game surprise, motherfucker.
Gone. You're dead. Get out. Here's the Monster Hunter 4 Diablos.
Well, I know my number 1
So
for at least right now.
the Diablos and Tri just absolutely aggravated the absolute living hell out of me. I did not
That's
like
the funny
fighting
thing,
it,
though.
ever.
That's the funny thing, though, is that when we did fight it, though, it took us considerably less time to beat it than most other things in Tri.
Yes, but that was because at that point we knew what we were doing. But the first time I fought it alone, it was just like, fuck you. Like, seriously. I was not pleased.
So shall I say what mine is?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
My number 1, for at least now, is Hellblade Glaveness. I hate this thing.
I hate it. He hates
I hate it.
it.
Okay.
I know why he hates it. Yami knows why he hates it. We're going to get to that in a little bit as well.
The reason I hate it is because, 1, we fought it so damn much in such a long period of time that I'm sick of it.
Within
And I mean,
a week.
no, within the day. Remember, we had 8 hours,
Right.
8 hours
It
nonstop.
took 8 hours and grinded out the whole damn thing.
Like, so we grinded out the thing so we didn't have to fight anymore. But like, it literally has the worst spawn in all of Monster Hunter. Even things with 1% have a better spawn rate. So
this thing, and we should might as well discuss why we're sick of this monster now, so we don't beat the horse to death.
yeah,
I mean, I'd rather beat him to death as he's already dead, but
With a baseball bat.
no, not with a baseball bat. I'd rather
Vegan
do it with
style.
fists.
Walking
But
Dead. Remember.
essentially, the reason we're sick of this thing is one particular item that we just found very, very annoying to grind, and that is Hellblade Powder. Now, if you don't know how often Hellblade Powder spawns, in order to get Hellblade Powder, there's only 2 ways. One, the Hellblade has to sharpen up his tail.
Or you have to hit the face when it's glowing
When it's glowing black with soot, essentially.
Yeah, when both sides have to be glowing with soot. And then when it's glowing with soot, which doesn't happen so often because we were actually so strong that we were killing it relatively fast when we wanted.
And he didn't have a chance to do it.
Yeah. So basically, you got to hit those 2 areas and make him flinch. And and those who play Monster Hunter know that it's already hard to make stuff flinch naturally, I guess.
Yeah, it depends on their resistances.
Yeah, and then you get a shiny. But then you might not get it from the shiny because the drop rate is 18% for the shiny. 18%
for Hellblade Powder. And for every weapon, you need at least 3 Hellblade Powders to max upgrade it. And for the armor, you also need at least 5 just to upgrade the armor from level 5.
Not including weapons either.
That's not including weapons. So in total, you probably need anywhere from 5 to 10 Hellblade Powder. Have fun.
Also, we didn't realize that we needed those until we got to that point. And that was like maybe 25 matches that we were doing before where we could have gathered some.
Yes. Which we were unaware of what we needed on the upgrade chain at that time. So I guess part of the fault falls onto us about that. But still, Capcom, why would you give us such a bullshit drop? Come on.
Yeah.
Well,
you are very sociopathic, but not me, because I was lucky and smart picking them up.
It's because we told you about it.
All right, your new nickname for the rest of the podcast is Asshat Jones. Okay. But now, on to our next segment of top 5 monsters that we all can talk about.
Yes, Yami didn't have to be silent for this one because it's top 5 monsters that we all love. This can be from any generation and also be game specific as well.
Yeah. Yes.
But so let's start out with our number 5. But Yami, you start since you didn't get to talk too much.
Yes.
Asloff is my top 5 from generations because it's a new monster, and it's a thunder wyvern, was basically designed around a dragonfly, and it's badass.
And not to mention, all its armor that's given is so good.
Especially
Yes.
that skill, chain crit. Now, if you guys don't know what chain crit is, essentially what chain crit is, the more often your attacks connect, the higher chance you have of getting a critical hit. So essentially, if you're using something like dual blades
Like me.
with Wolf's Maw, and you have the chain critical skill, the rate on the, and you're also in Archdemon mode at the same time, the rate and speed of your swings is so much that you're going to get a crit literally every other hit, at least.
Yeah. If you can like try and combine that ability with Part Breaker, oh boy.
Oh, you are going to have a fun time breaking parts.
All right. Well, for my number 5, I'm gonna go with, in general, most of every Lagiacrus. In the sense of like Lagiacrus, Abyssal, and if you've
Ivory.
seen the thumbnail, the Ivory, which I love a lot.
Yes.
But yeah, so like I like Lagiacrus because like one, it's always fun to actually see you damage the monster, which is a hint for one of my future ones. James knows which one.
I know which one.
And then what was it? Lagiacrus was also really fun to just fight and try.
Yeah,
like-
that was a good. That was it. That was literally a good challenge to fight. And he wasn't. I agree with Louis on the point. He wasn't that annoying underwater.
Yeah,
He
like,
was a challenge.
He was a challenge, but like it was also the thing is like it was literally at that point where me and James did the turnaround and got to be good monster hunters. So like it was one of those things we were having such trouble with Rathalos, with Barioth, with Diablo, but then we did Lagiacrus around the same time, and then that was like when we realized we were actually being really good hunters.
Yeah, and that
Also-
was just fun to bash his face in with the Rathalos head hammer.
Oh yeah, that was really,
That was so satisfying.
especially yeah,
Yeah.
that was like so useful.
And the fact, and the part of Louis where you actually see the damage on the monster, you could scar Lagiacrus's chest, and you'd actually feel like you're doing a hell of a lot of damage. His back broke like 3 times in try, and each
Yeah, like-
time those crystals got shorter.
Yeah, if you recall, also you could break the face, the bottom, and the top.
In the top, yeah, you can also cut off his tail, which I mean is common with a lot of monsters, but it's still satisfying.
Yes.
But yeah, like so, like that's why like I love him. He's just like, also he's like, I guess I would say one of the flagship just staples that you have to fight.
Yep.
I wish Ivory was back in the new one. I would make that armor.
Oh my god, I would
Yeah.
too.
So it's like one of my dual blade sets made of the Abyss one. So yeah.
Yeah, Abyssal.
Abyssal
I love
was
the
fun.
design I love the design of Abyssal. I really do. But speaking of flagship monsters,
Wait, hold
at
on,
my
your number five? Yeah.
is the Rathalos and Raven combo. This is OG. This is just original OG. I love the standard flying wyvern dragon style monsters that breathe fire.
James.
It's perfect.
James, why don't you talk about the plates, James?
I got the plate finally. I can't talk about the plates anymore.
No, I think you can talk about the plates, James. You
I can
forget
talk-
that you've
okay.
had this problem for 3 games.
2 games.
2 games, I'll give you that.
I did not have the problem in 4 at all.
We had problems in Try, both of us.
Yes, both of us had problems. Yeah, but that's the 2 games. I had problems in Generations and Try. I didn't have a problem with plates in any other game.
Well, we didn't really go for them in 4, so
I mean, I just got them. Like literally my first runs in 4, I got both.
no.
So-
Well, okay. So for backstory on this is so in Try,
And Try. Good times.
I guess no, I had the problem with the plates that
You
time.
had
But
the
it was-
problem with the plates and Try.
No, wait, you had problems with Rathian. I had
No,
problems
no.
with Rathalos.
No, I had the Rathalos. I thought I had the Rathalos problems. I don't remember.
No, I was Rathalos because I needed the ruby and you always
needed the
got
ruby.
the
I
rubies.
needed the plates.
And I always got plates. So like literally there was a time we did 4 hunts in a row. And
Yes.
I got a plate every single time and he got a ruby every single
Every
time.
single time.
And we were so pissed
We're
because that's
so
what we
salty at each other. It's just like, I don't need money.
Like, yeah, that was the thing. It was just like we didn't need the rupees. That was like one of the funny
It's
ones.
one of those moments. As for this game, I could not get a Wraithen plate till I was well into G rank. I probably didn't get my first Wraithen plate in the game for Generations until I was about HR 150.
Which was about 2 months into the game too.
2 months into the game, and I grinded the absolute living hell out of the Wraithen too. I have literally over 100, almost over 100 parts from every Wraithen. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
So, what's your number 4 then, Yami?
My number 4 is actually the Sand Barroth.
Sand Barroth.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes, because its original armor set in Monster Hunter Ultimate 3 had some unique skills like Heat Canceller, Attack Small, and I used to use that as my heat resistance set for desert climates and volcano areas. So combining that with
his armor set just looked badass.
Yes, it does. I actually gave it like red stripes of the firing on the side coats.
Nice.
Type of thing. And the blade decorations look nice on it as well.
Yeah.
So I combined the Seneca / the Abyss Monsters dual blade set, what I showed the picture to Lewis here on Discord a while back. Because they were like my favorite dual blade sets in that game. I was just wish they were back.
Eventually.
Yeah. So
one day you will get them.
Yeah, and I actually met a few friends through that hunt. Actually, I was helping a fellow YouTuber hunting that monster when he was doing like, I think it was like 3 or 4 star online online missions. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. I had a blast doing that hunt. The snow one I kind of like, but not as much as the sand one, because the sand one makes like sand storms.
Yeah, the sand twisters.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And then he spun around in his own sand twister. That was awesome.
Yeah. He's just like, sky uppercuts you.
All right. So
Super
I guess my number 4 was the Agog.
The Garz Mazios.
Gazmazios. That one was just so epic to fight. And like anyone who knows me and has played the Monster Hunter games with me knows I love epic fights the best. Usually they're Elder Dragons, but they're the big Elder.
Was epic.
Oh,
I
just
mean,
alone,
very epic.
Just alone having the Dragon Slayer on the back.
Yeah,
having the Dragonator stuck in his back, and not only did you get that, you got the massive dragon cannon during that fight, the ballista, the cannon fire, having artillery in that during that fight was amazing. I had it on the Brachitium set, and he was such a big monster. He did so much damage to you, but it didn't feel like it was cheap either. It felt like every bit of damage you took was your own fault.
And like that was another thing. One of my favorite things is like we were fighting him for a while. This was like the first time we fought him too, because it was me, James, and James, our other hunting friend, and like
friend.
Yeah, he's dead now.
He's not dead now. He's busy. You know this.
He's dead in Monster Hunter.
He's dead currently. He's dead in Monster Hunter. Yes.
Yeah, he might come back one day. But
one day.
So like the thing was, I remember this one story is we were like getting down to the wire. We were like 5 minutes left on the thing, and we were like, okay, we're not going to be able to beat him because once we get to that time, you're like, no, we're not. And then I remember one of us just like jumped down and ran towards him, and then hit him in the foot, and then he toppled over and died. Dead. Everyone else had given up. I think it was me. Like you both did just like, well, I guess we're done. And I just
I was with the insect glaive, and I was still trying to fire ballista at him. I'm just like, come on, die.
Yeah, and then I hit him in the foot, and he died, and it was one of the funniest things.
The reaction off of all us. We were on a Skype call, and all of a sudden it was just like, yeah! It was just the best thing in the world. That was the first time we fought him. We all ran out of potions that fight.
Oh yeah,
that's what it came down to. It came down to one death, and none of us had potions.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
That was
before
terrifying.
That was also before we could really go for ancient potions too, if I recall.
Well, no,
'Cause
I had it. We
had them, but we didn't have them in a huge supply like we do now.
Yeah, we didn't have enough. We didn't have enough made, so it was like,
Yeah,
it was a crazy fight. I loved that fight. I agree with you on that.
I agree on you on that as well, because that dragon itself is fun to face.
It's a giant tar dragon. Like, literally, the tar
all
and
the armor was cool too.
The armor was really cool looking.
And the weapons were nice as well. Like the dual blades were just they were flashing
weapons
blue.
were beautiful. Not only that, but he had the tar and fire combination, which if you got tarred and then got hit with one of those fire attacks, you could kiss essentially your life goodbye if you weren't careful.
Mm.
Like that it was a perfect combination for that monster.
And weirdly, some of the weapons had different effects. Like the dual blades ones, they had sleep.
Yeah, the dual blades had sleep. The greatsword, I think, had blast blight. The charge blade, not sure if he had a charge blade. I don't remember. He might have.
I don't think he had a charge blade actually.
He had a lot of
No,
different-
he might have.
He had a lot of
it
different
looked
effects.
like a coffin.
Oh yeah. He did have
Yeah,
the coffin blade. I remember that. Literally, it was called the coffin blade.
Yeah, like I gotta say, I think most of my favorite armors might be from 4, which will probably be one we have to do. Just top 5.
Well, 4
best
because
looking armor.
had G rank. I mean, we had G rank, and the G rank armors all looked amazing.
Oh well, no, I just mean aesthetically. They all are pretty.
Oh
damn
yeah, they're
cool
all very.
because we have 3 different types of gore, and like the top
And they
gore was
all
an
look
angel
really different.
demon armor. Like that was such.
Also a monster I hated, but yeah, he had some really kick-ass armor.
like you can't deny it was like badass armor though.
Oh my god, no, absolutely, hands down, the armor in 4 is currently what I think is the best.
Yeah.
Still, I think it's the best. Even with me playing, even with us playing, all 3 of us have been playing Generations since day one.
Yes.
So
Literally since day 1.
literally, yeah. So for my number 4, I actually put the Mizutsune on here. Yes,
Can't really
Bubbles,
disagree.
Bubbles, the magical wonder dragon, as I like to call it, or we all refer to it as well. Literally, it's just a graceful leviathan. That's literally its name Mizutsune means bubble fox. So
and the music as well. When
the music is like let's just be honest. The music in Generations is beautiful. Like the music in Generations for all the monsters is perfect. The deviant monster themes, etc. But Mizutsune really made you feel like you were like back in the Imperial Ages fighting like this massive Chinese dragon beast, and it was a beautiful fight. The armor is beautiful. I don't actually have the armor set, and I'm thinking of making it now.
I actually have the armor set.
About this, but it's beautiful. It gives you the bubble skill, which is a new skill, which actually gives you a nice little evasion boost. It fired bubbles, and it was, in a way, it was kind of like the Kuru Peko, where it could fire or where it could do certain moves, and if you disrupted it, but in this case, you couldn't disrupt it. Occasionally, the Mizu would just drop attack and health bubbles to restore your health and boost your attack. Unlike the Kuru Peko, where he did all these crazy dances. But I like the Kuru as well.
And the weapons look really nice as well.
The weapons are
pretty badass.
The weapons are katanas. The weapons are katanas, fans. They're beautiful weapons. I love them. Literally feels incredibly like you're in a Japanese movie or film. It's perfect. It literally makes you feel like a samurai.
Yes.
More so than the Henmaran's armor, I'd say as well.
Yami, I just noticed something.
What?
It says as well as armor of the mouth.
I have to read.
Armor of the mouth.
I have to change typo.
Look,
Typo.
Of the mouth.
Sorry, typo.
We're not talking about Yami. We're not talking about exclusively the helmets here, okay? That's a full damn armor set.
I know.
You have to make an armor set for each individual teeth, yo.
Your teeth are just covered in armor.
Yeah, just like Barry out armor, just have all these different skills.
All these little fangs.
All right, well, I guess we should move on to number 3 too. So Yami, want to kick it off
with your number 3?
Should we say this one is similar to Bubbles, but it's the wind counterpart?
No, I hate you.
Is it Kushala?
It's Kushala.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Not Kushala.
You sack of crack. Oh, wait, no, wait. Kushala or Amatsu?
Amatsu.
Okay.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, if it was Kushala, first off, they're not really related that much. Secondly, we have a problem.
But Amatsu's fun.
Amatsu is one of those. Amatsu's fight is epic. Two phases of music like Gog, an epic fight, an epic challenge that does a lot of damage if you're also not careful. I'm just gonna let Yami finish it because I can't describe it as well.
The fight is epic. The weather changes in the whole battlefield. This Elder Dragon could basically make a massive tornado that can easily one-shot you if you don't get out of the way in time, unless you're playing as a cat and dig underground.
There are other ways to avoid it. It's
like hitting it out of the air, like I did that one time
with an insect glaive. Yeah, we all started going aerial style for that fight because it's almost necessary.
Yeah, I did that a few times with my dual blades.
Yeah, that was just the best part though. It was just
drop dead.
Well, I was expecting to die there too.
You almost did too.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna die here.
No,
Amatsu was going for the ultimate tornado attack, where it starts off small and then extends a really large distance. And Louis in there with an insect glaive, jumping, and he's the only one caught in it. And he's trying to hit it in the face, and eventually he got it and dropped it and actually killed it. So
I killed it with that too, didn't I?
Yeah, you did kill it.
That was pretty.
That was pretty epic.
Listen, I may not be the best player. I mean, I'm a good player, but I always have the most badass, I guess, reactions.
Yes,
I was doing good in try.
Not only reactions, but you had literally like the best all of a sudden last hit kills. Whether it's with your hunting arts or just being just awesome, just an awesome move to finish it off.
Well, it was like that one time, and like just stabbed it like easily, and just.
The camera angle is perfect for that too.
Yeah. So I guess I'll go on to my number 3 then, because I mean we're all agreeing on that one. But actually, my number 3 is Baryon, the regular.
Oh wow. Yes.
The snooze.
The thing about it is, like, at the start I hated it, but it was just like looking back on it, that was literally the point me and James got good at the game.
So you got to do a Monster Hunter, you get good. Yeah,
and like it's just like I have fond memories now because that's the point that we became hunters. And and also just Baryoth armor is pretty sick.
Yes, we've discussed it.
And the weapons,
the ice the affinity on those weapons.
Yeah, and like
the highest in that game.
Granted, like I don't enjoy its speed so much, but like looking back on it, it is one of the most fun.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Well, that's just because we played like maybe 200 hours. Plus.
We played over 203
online alone.
Online, we definitely played 200.
I played over.
We were on the phone all
hours.
the time.
I played over 600 plus.
Yeah, we were on our phone because at this time it's like, what the fuck is Skype?
I also didn't have a computer. Remember, we both didn't have computers. I don't think.
No, you're right. We didn't have computers.
Yeah, so we were on like literal landlines.
Yeah,
every day for like 5 hours every day after school.
Months and months.
Dude, I honestly think we played that for a good year.
Yeah, we played Try for a good year and a half.
Yeah.
And then when we got the news from 4, and then it was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so good. And then it was only released in Japan. And then when we got the game, it's like, oh my god, it's back.
Well, I mean, Ultimate.
Oh yeah, then 3. Yeah,
Ultimate was first. Yeah. I mean, by the time Ultimate was announced, we were excited too.
Yeah. So at my number 3, I suppose then, we've already talked about GOG. Unfortunately, you guys have robbed my number 2 and number 3 already. Because Yami robbed my number 2 with his 5.
All right, so I guess we're going on to number 2 then.
Well, Yami already said 2.
Though. Yeah,
I'm not gonna go to my 1 yet. Honestly, I could
save your number 1 for later.
Oh, I'm going to. Currently at my number 3, it was GOG, but thinking about it now, I still really like Dalamadur. I really like the giant badass snake from the finale of 4, not the GOG finale, the high rank finale, not the G rank finale.
Damn it, that was my number 2.
Now you gotta come up with another one. That's what you get.
But hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead and get your food. But I loved Dalamadur. Dalamadur was it was a intimidating fight, to say the least. Literally the biggest monster ever conceived in Monster Hunter history at over 40,000 centimeters. That's 400 meters long, at least. And that's the small one. It had much bigger sizes than that. The sizes, I think, could range up to almost 450 meters, so 45,000 centimeters, which is crazy thinking about it. My math might be off, but I don't give a damn. This thing was at least 400 meters or greater. It was such an amazing monster, though. Like, just in the fight, the fact that during the fight, first off, it's a giant badass. It's a giant snake that has hands.
It's basically a snake form of Sephiroth.
Yeah, literally. And you could climb up its back. You could jump. Literally, the jumping off the cliffs on top of monsters made for what it was to this generation today. And the fact that we could jump off the head to get on Dalamadur's head, not only to probably carve some stuff off of it, but beat the ever-living hell out of it, just like the hen back and try. It's just the monsters that you can get on top of and are that big, and you feel a sense of scale. Unlike our carcass in Generations, which sure you could get on top of it, but it didn't feel as satisfying as jumping on top of the Hen Maran, which is moving next to a giant sand ship, or the Dalamadur, which is literally you're fighting it on a freaking mountain. It was just a great fight, and sure, the meteor spam at the end was really, really annoying, and when he had like 10% health left, but
that's why I call him Sephiroth.
That's why we call him Sephiroth. Here, have all my ultimates at once because I spam them. But the meteors were okay, but you could break so much. You could actually see like the true chest damage. He had like a giant spike in the middle of his chest. You broke that off, and then you broke his chest wide open. It was just satisfying. You could cut off a giant part of his tail to carve.
Damage his claws.
A giant. You break his claws. You could break his head. You could break his back, which also had a giant fin, essentially. It's not really a fin. It was a giant spike. But you could break that too, and it was just all around. It was a really good fight. And that point where he gets the 50% of his health left, and he shatters that half of the map by crushing that mountain.
Yes.
Was absolutely awing. I'm looking at this going, oh shit, this is a monster that can literally kick your butt in a matter of seconds.
Basically,
this is a monster. This is a monster that you need to fear. Of course, later on when you get the G rank and you go back to Dalamadur, he's a joke, but then you fight the subspecies of him, and then it's like, oh shit, this is still tough. But it was the Dalamadur. Wow. I don't have words to describe like how much I really loved that fight. It's really hard to describe that fight because I grinded that guy for hours. Not for his armor, for his weapons. His weapons did sleep, blast, and paralysis.
Yes.
They all did abnormal status effects, which was something I really enjoyed using abnormal status effects, and I still enjoy using abnormal status effects, especially Blast Blight, but that's just because I'm a sucker.
Yes. Yeah, besides the weapons themselves, you need to have like an awakening to actually activate the unnormal status on some of the weapons.
Yes, and that was something really cool on some of the weapons, not all of them. I believe the Charge Blade I know needed to be awakened. The Insect Glaive definitely needed to be awakened because I tried
Dual blades.
Dual blades needed to be. The Longsword didn't, I believe. The Longsword I don't think needed to be awakened, and neither did the Greatsword. I remember I had the Gauss Mazios Greatsword, though. I know my Gauss Mazios was my original number 3. That giant sleeping Greatsword.
Yes.
I loved it. But
should I tell you what was a bit ironic about that monster?
What?
It was still weak against fire.
Yeah, it was still.
Which one are we talking about?
The snake.
The snake.
Oh, we're still talking about the snake?
Dalamadur.
That one was fun. Because, like, I remember actually, as a funny story, you and James fought it before me.
Yeah, we did.
And then you said, you're going to like it. I'm like, what do you mean I'm going to like it? It's like, it's a giant snake. What do you mean it's a giant snake? And then
what do you mean it's a giant snake? Oh, my God!
Oh!
Over 400. And then I said to Louis, this thing's over 40,000 centimeters. It's like, it's over 400 meters?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't over 9,000.
I mean, it's already over 9,000, though.
9,000 something.
9,000 centimeters. But anyways, Yami, you're number 2 then.
If I can pronounce its name right, White Fatal.
White Fatalis.
Yes.
You know, I totally forgot about the Fatalis family. I totally forgot they existed.
Yeah.
You talked about it all the time last gen.
Last gen, you and I talked about it all the time, but that was because we needed to.
Yeah, the reason why I liked it's actually all of the family species because the different versions of the fights were different and unique. Like the red one was in the middle of the lava pit fight. The other one was like an old ancient. Like I think 2 of them are in the ancient ruins, correct?
Yeah, two were in the ancient ruins. White and standard Fatalis. Crimson was the only one you fought outside in the lava pit, and then they gave him Blast Blight in 4, which really ruined him.
Yeah, it did ruin him, but the weapons were well worth it. You can get like Blast Blight and Dragon, and then you can have Thunder and Dragon. It's like, oh, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Should I do my number 2 now then?
Go ahead.
Agnactor.
Ah, the big Uruktor.
The big Uruktor.
Hey, we fight the big Uruktor.
I love this thing so much.
Big Uruktor.
It's just, yeah, I love it because it went back to my thing. It's just I love seeing the damage on monsters, and it's literally the damage monster.
The damage monster. Literally the monster where you can break everything and see it.
Plus, like, once again, going back to Try, that was literally around the time where it got really fun.
Yeah, that was, I agree with that. That was a really good time. That monster was fun. And now, Miyami, going back to yours momentarily for the White Fatalis, he was a fun fight. Like, the fact that he flew up to the full moon and eclipsed the sky with the clouds that surrounded it, and then just a lightning storm everywhere. Oh, it was just so cinematic. I loved it.
I just wish they brought him back though, because he was a good fight.
He was a very good fight. Now going back to Louis with the big Uruktor, because I love saying it's big Uruktor and not the Agnactor.
Which version?
The big
fire one
Uruktor.
or the ice one?
The big Uruktor. The fire big Uruktor is best Uruktor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ice one. The ice one was a pain in the ass because it kept on protecting yourself.
Oh my god, the ice one was a pain in the ass because you could hit the ice one when he went on the ground, but he cooled down as the fight went on.
Yes.
Or I'm sorry, he heated up. The ice one heated up. You had to wait for the other one to cool down, so you could actually hit the other one. You had to wait for the ice one.
Yes.
That reminds me of the time when me and James first fought it, and we didn't realize the beam was an insta kill.
I mean, it technically wasn't, but in the armor we were in at the time, it was.
Death beam.
Listen, I'm going to give it to you,
God.
but at the same time, it was an insta kill. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't realize that at the start.
Basically, it was a special
And then
beam
one of us
cannon.
got hit, and then one of us got hit with the beam. I'm not going to say who it was, although you
know
probably
monsters
are.
hate me.
Yeah, I was going to say it
You
was
got
definitely.
hit by it too, so
I did get hit by it too, but that was a couple quests later on a very poorly timed dodge.
Or the one time you were healing up.
Yeah,
Learn how to dodge.
and it was just like heal, bang, fuck. It was literally like someone took the golden gun and shot me in the face as I'm trying to recover my health. It was just like, God damn it.
With no scope.
Literally no scoped. So, yeah, I really like the Agnactor. His armor was cool. I liked the way his armor looked, and his weapons were some of the best fire weapons. And they still are to this day.
The glaives are so good.
Weapons.
Yeah, the
They-
dual blades.
the fire duels are amazing still.
So is the fire and ice one were in Ultimate.
Yeah.
I actually had 2 versions of the sets.
I also think it had a bit of affinity. I think it was like 20% affinity.
I think so. I can double check on the Wii U version.
I thought for sure it was 30 or something.
I double
It
check.
was somewhere around there.
Well, you can double check now if you want me to.
Nah, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. But it had some critical hit potential as well in there. So that I just love Agnactor. He's literally the monster you can see that all the damage for it was amazing. I guess again, Yami stole my number 2 with the Astalos. I hate you. I really do. I can't really think of another number 2 to put at this spot. Astalos is really at this point he's grown on me. But one thing we didn't talk about with Astalos, oh my God, the battle theme.
Yes.
Absolutely headbanging. It was not like headbanging in the sense that it's metal music, but it was perfect. Literally, it felt like you were in danger at all times with this theme going on. This monster's literally a glass cannon. He hits like a truck, but is the weakest of the four. And the fact that he powered up and he like started all like, and what Yami said, he is a mix of he literally is a dragonfly. His name is his original name, Razakess, stands for lightning dragonfly, which is really cool. But he's just amazing. The theme was amazing, and the fact that when he powered up, he turned all green, on top of like his bronzish skin. The colors mix so well on that monster. It is beautiful.
But lest we forget, the armor is just sick.
The armor is God. The armor is one of the best.
It's the only thing we used for a long time.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We from HR 3 to when you could first grind the armor set to HR. I believe it was 5 or 6 is when we started grinding
I want to say
Hellblade.
6.
We were using Astalos armor. We weren't caring about damage. We were just that good.
Yeah.
And technically, I'm still using Astalos armor because I have.
Yeah, I haven't made his high rank set yet, and I probably should.
No, I'm using the DLC stuff, so it's like.
Oh, the Dynaki, yeah, his DLC armor, freaking beanie in the headset. That's awesome. You guys should
My
check.
favorite armor.
It's literally the coolest. I have the full set myself, and I use
Same
it
here.
with Guild Sword and Shield style, which is pretty nice. I just love Shoryugekiing things in the face. Because you gotta get them juicy blades. Get them juicy blades.
All right, so shall we move on to our number ones?
Number ones. This is the big one for everybody. And obviously, all of us have kind of dropped hints as to what our number ones are at this point.
I don't think I dropped any hints, actually.
You might have dropped one. I know
I
I
did drop
dropped
one.
one, and Yami's definitely dropped one.
So, let's start with Yami again.
Let's start with Yami.
Obviously, my one is the Thunder Puppy. Zenoga.
I mean, we knew this.
We knew this. The viewers did not.
Yes.
I don't know. If you could look at our theme, our thumbnail.
Yes, it should be on the.
Yeah, that
After
doesn't
the
spoil it
podcast.
entirely.
Yeah, the reason why I love Zenoga is since I saw him in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. I didn't think he was in Try at the time.
He was not in Try. He was in Portable.
Yeah, he's in Portable 3, but I didn't have that at the time. But when I saw him in Ultimate, I was like, he's adorable. I want one. And the armor sets were really nice. And because the armor sets had like the claws and they glowed when the monsters get aggressive.
Yeah, that
Wasn't that like the samurai style one too?
No, that wasn't the Samurai Styles in Ogre. That was the G rank variant from 4, I think you're thinking of.
Yeah.
But his original variant had like the claws on the arms
Yeah, one claw on the left hand.
on the gunner set.
Yeah.
Which I actually,
Blade set as
in
well.
3 Ultimate, I remember running the Uragan G with the Zenogre G, because the Zenogre G had the claw, and I ran it with the really thin and sleek-looking militaristic. I couldn't think of the word. Militaristic, I think's the word. Uragan set, so it was like really thin.
Yes.
And looked really nice, like plate armor, unlike fat Uragan, which I hate because it makes you look like a stupid jar.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Nimble Snarf. Like armor is really good.
Nibble Snurf! I love the Nibble Snurf.
Yes. Another reason why I like Zenoga because its dragon counterparts attack sets were different than the Thunder one. Because you get them something like it's Dragon Ball attacks type of thing.
I just want to say this now. Louis and I don't like Stygian. We hate Stygian.
Yeah.
You may like it. Louis and I hate the absolute living hell out of it.
I'm guessing you had a really hard time against it.
Oh, both of us had a really hard time, and it was in 3 Ultimate only. And then when they gave him the frenzied form in 4, then we cried a lot inside.
Yeah.
Still do.
Yeah.
We
These
still do.
they made it up in Generations of the Thunderlords, and I actually like.
Thunderlord is sick.
Yes.
I love we have to spin our wheel of giant. We have to. In fact, I have not spun. I should have opened the wheel of deviance.
Will. Oh, deviant!
Granted, we're still going after Nargacuga first
Yeah,
anyway,
we're still-
so
we
the
still
wheel
got-
is
we still have to
useless
finish
until we
that.
actually get to the next one.
True.
Yes.
But shall I go on to mine then?
You may. Go on to your number one.
I'm sure James already knows what it is.
Yeah.
It's the head Moron.
Yeah.
Because it's just an epic fight. You're on a boat fighting monsters.
You're on
It
a
was
sand.
literally the reason why I wanted to get Try. Because that was on the trailer. The demo discs that were on the Wii, remember?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember those.
It's just perfect. What can I say? Because, like, most of my things are going back to Try for, like,
A lot of our memories go back to Try.
memory.
Mine goes back to Freedom, so.
But, like,
Well, I
just
mean,
like,
we've played the other games after, but Try was the one we really sunk our teeth into first.
I'm pretty sure Try, if we combine, like, Ultimate and Try, like, we just played mostly in Try. Out of all the Monster Hunter games we played together, it's all been Try
Yeah.
for most time. So, but I loved him, mostly because it was cool to have that event monster.
Yeah, with the sandstorm, he only came out during that event in Try Online, and it was just you needed that sandstorm showing up, or you were not fighting the Henmaran.
And like me and James, like when we played to beat the Hen Moran for our main
Over.
goal.
And over. Because every time that event rolled around, we had to fight the Henmaran. And at this point, the first time we fought it, we did the low rank one, and we obviously successfully repelled it.
Actually, we didn't repel it right the first time.
Not the very first time, but so technically the first true attempt we took at the low rank one, we did repel. But the first attempt we actually took, because we didn't know what to expect, we almost repelled it. We came close. But it was just a really good fight. It was a fun fight. We loved, shooting the cannons, being able to jump on its back at a certain point and just beat the ever-living hell out of it. And not only that, but it came to the point in Try where Louis and I had a very specific position on who would take what and what we do and when. So it was like Louis had the hunting gong, I had the ballista binder, Louis had the anti-dragon bombs, I had the dragonator.
I'm still on anti-dragon bombs.
Yeah, to this day, Louis and I really switch off on anti-dragon bombs. He's been using them a lot more in this game, though I let him. I still prefer my ballista binder, just because I'm really good at timing that. Not so much in this game, because some monsters seem to be resistant to it at the weirdest times. But it was such a good and just enjoyable fight. And that's only the first phase when you're on a sand ship and the thing's next to you. There was a second phase where your sand ship is parked back to the port, in front of the port, and the Henmaran is coming closer and closer.
Very slowly.
Very slowly, but you could feel it. You could feel the atmosphere in that fight.
But yeah, like just doing like top, like just Wii ones, it's still gonna be Hen, just because. Honestly, I see Hen as being more the face of Monster Hunter in Try era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was Monster Hunter Try more than any other monster. Like I'm pretty sure that if you showed anyone during that time, just like this is what you can fight in the monster, it's just like anyone would be instantly hooked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I guess all that leaves is my number one.
Yep.
So I dropped a hint on this when I was talking about the Gog and Dalamadur. I'm wearing the shirt of my favorite monster because I had to do it for the special occasion. My favorite monster still to this day is the motherfucking Brachydios. This man is the definition to me of badass. He is a brute. He's a brute type wyvern that uses his fists to fight rather than the brute type wyvern hip checks and tail whips. The Blast Blight, as it's now called, also formerly known as Slime Blight when it was first introduced in 3 Ultimate.
Oh, I gotta say, I like Slime way better.
I do like Slime way better. But however, Blast Blight does have that critical hit bonus. Slime did not. It had more of a part breaker bonus. That critical hit bonus can still break parts though. Blast Blight's still very useful in breaking parts, but when it was Slime Blight, oh my goodness, could you get work done? I remember fighting the Dire Miralis with the Brachydio's maxed out gun lance, and this man got wrecked very quickly.
And the armor set looks sick though.
The Dire Miralis armor set is really cool. We'll have to talk about that another week, but back to Brachy. Brachy is just like the way his armor looked. It made you feel like, as Louis puts it, either a Transformer or a Power Ranger.
I think like a Transformer.
The first style armor. It made you feel very powerful. His weapons made you feel stronger than any monster in the game. Now, granted, his Blast Blight weapons from Brachydio's aren't the greatest in the world now, as we do have now Teostra's Blast Blight weapons, and those are a little better. However,
they're still the only two you really get him from.
True. I'm still gonna go back to my main man Brachydio's though, and the only reason is because the monster's nostalgia for me ever since he was introduced. I love the concept of the monster. I love the intro video, and I love the ecology they showed of him beating the ever-living shit out of a big Eruptor and blowing him up. Yeah, and literally blowing him up, which was pretty cool. It's a perfect monster. And I like the concept of like, here, have another abnormal status effect that makes you explode if you don't roll it off.
Yes.
And it gives you a fuck ton of damage. Now, I don't know will do damage if you don't roll it off, but if he hits you in your Blast Blight, you take the exact same amount of damage as you would. And then you get a special variant of him in 4 in the form of the Raging Brachydio's. He was a very tough challenge. Even for veteran hunters, Raging Brachydio's was very tough because every now he starts like a normal enraged Brachydio's where he's colorful and he's got he can create his explosive attacks.
I like the original one better because like the orange didn't really work for it. You know what I mean? Like color.
Well, yeah, but let me get back. So
yeah, I know what I'm saying.
It turned orange on certain parts of its body at certain times, and if you hit that and didn't roll away, there goes half your health. Like literally, the raging was that powerful. Louis remembers fighting it just to get the immortal reactor, which I got like 6 of.
Oh yeah, that was a pain in the ass. Well, that's because I only used the slime greatsword.
Yeah, at that time you only used the Dios Edge maxed out, the quantum.
Which is the thing. I don't think I varied myself until this game.
Yeah, this game gave a lot of new styles to it, but the way I loved especially the Furious Brachydio's set, and you had to unlock him via a scroll in 4 Ultimate too. So he was unlocked on like the 8th scroll. So he was such a good monster to fight. Yeah, he was much of a challenge, but his armor was really good. I put Part Breaker on it, Spirit, Bomb Boost. I had a couple other skills on there, but I was running with his Charge Blade at the time, and oh my god, I was wrecking house. Like that's why I love Brachydio's. He's just a destructive monster where I can just give in to my inner rage and blow stuff up.
All right.
And I think that's why he's the best monster, in my opinion.
All right. Well, I think we've exhausted all those topics for this week.
Yes.
At least until our next top 5, like other stuff.
Well, what about monsters we're sick of?
Well, if we're gonna just do a quick discussion, because like we should get on to the next topics. You know?
I agree. Let's just hit a quick discussion.
Sick is just Hellblade. You know what? I'm just sick of it.
We're sick of the Hellblade at this point. We're not doing it again for a while. Even normal Glaveness is kind of wearing on us now because we fought Hellblade for so long. It's the same damn thing, essentially.
Except one's a pain in the ass more.
Except one's
because the other one has Blast Blight.
Well, that's not why he's a pain in the ass. It's the range on that Blast Blight attack that pisses us off. Honestly, though, yeah, the tail attack, the double super slash. Another monster that is kind of like really annoying me, and keep in mind the monsters we're sick of. It's not necessarily monsters we hate on our list. It's just monsters that we find very annoying to either get a part off of or something like that. For me, another one. It was
a pain for just because we would do long blast sessions, and that like those sessions just make us tired.
Yeah, and we don't get what we need, so it makes us really tired really quickly. For me specifically, the Elytrion was one of those. In Monster Hunter Tri, this game also in particular is kind of wearing on me with the Elytrion. Although, granted, we've only done it 3 times so far, but I mean,
but even then, the 3 times have been
the 3 times.
Failure.
The Elytrion. No, we didn't fail. We beat him every time. But
almost failed the one time.
We almost the first time.
Okay, they're not failures so much as they weren't grand spectaculars that we were hoping for.
Yes. Because we were like, oh my god, Elatreon's back at HR80. We get to fight him again. And then we realized once we mounted him, he did his thing twice and it just threw us off instantly and really pissed us off because we didn't have a gunner. And he floats just a little high in the air so your aerial jumps can't reach him.
Well, something to add that's not really a monster specific, but something I'm sick of is level 2 roars.
Yes, high grade roars.
High grade roars have been a pain in my side since I got this set with the headphones. He's
got earplugs on the set, but he doesn't have high grade earplugs. So all of a sudden,
every single monster just decided, like, I'm gonna roar extra loud for you.
Tigrex, Elatreon, Acantor.
Like, some of them make sense though, but a lot of others just don't. Like Tigrex is like.
He's a brute. Well, technically he's a flying wyvern, but he's a brute.
In the T-Rex.
Wait, what?
Are we still on?
Yeah, no, we're still on. You cut out there.
I cut out. You guys cut out. No. Tigrex is like, I see why they did it, but it's also, why did they do that to Tigrex?
Well, Tigrex has had it for a while.
That doesn't make it any less.
Keep in mind, though, Tigrex's roar also does damage.
That doesn't make it any less aggravating, does it now?
No, it doesn't. I guess another monster I'm sick of is also part of the Tigrex family, but it's a subspecies. Yami, you know which one I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Molten Tigrex.
Okay.
The slime variant of Tigrex can go fuck itself.
I had forgotten about that.
Combining the speed with Blast Blight is not fun, Capcom. I did not enjoy myself during that fight.
Now that you said that, they're going to give it like a Slime Barrioth to come out.
Okay, Slime Barrioth would be cool, though.
No, but it'll be faster.
Yeah, but Tigrex hits a lot harder than the Barrioth.
Yes, but slime, James. You forgot about slime.
We have our adept style now, so it's like.
Well, I mean, we're gonna be a lot better at it now, but just like But yeah. Okay, we should move on to the next topic.
Yeah, we should definitely move on at this point.
So the next topic is what we hope to see in the next Direct this Thursday.
Yes, we have a news on a Direct. Specifically, it's a Japanese Direct. Specifically, but they are announcing something Monster Hunter related through a Japanese Nintendo Direct. They said specifically it's not going to be anything for the Switch because they're not talking about anything for the Switch until next year, from what I've heard.
I mean, they could tease stuff though.
They can tease it, but they're not going to talk about it until next year, regardless.
Yes. But that honestly means that next year, because like Nintendo's doing that too, is like by the time they actually have that thing, we might have a new Monster Hunter for it. So it's.
Yeah, what I'm wondering...
We could have a launch date Monster Hunter. And if so, I'm going to be spending so much freaking money.
Yeah.
Save the money now.
Yeah,
all the money this year I'm getting is being saved, and it's got to be.
Like, look at what we got. We got Breath of the Wild. If there's a launch Monster Hunter.
We got Breath of the Wild. We've got the Switch. We've got possibly a Splatoon launch. We've got
a Smash Bros. Launch.
A Smash Bros. Launch. There's going to be so much stuff this year. But anyways, back to the Monster Hunter. There's going to be a Direct. Now, what I'm wondering, if this is a Japanese Direct, I don't think... It is a
Japanese Direct.
It is. That's why I said it was. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be related to the English release of Monster Hunter Stories.
Oh, it's not.
Which unfortunately I'm very upset about because I'd like to see a spin-off Monster Hunter title because we got MHX for the West. Can we get MHS for the West?
But I mean, you got to think about though. How long did it take us to get Gen? It took
less time. No, it took less time for us to get Gen than it did 4.
True, but by the time we got 4, Gen was mostly out.
Gen was mostly out. That was correct.
Yeah. Like, the thing about it is that they are going to get better about it because I don't think simultaneous launches are going to happen.
I don't.
In the near
that's
future.
The thing because I don't think so either because it's way too popular in Japan for simultaneous launches to occur.
But it's also super popular here though. Like it's
now it's really popular in the West. So I'd like to see some more spin-off titles introduced. So that'd be very interesting to see, and I really want to see.
I mean, stories would be good here for us too.
Stories would be awesome.
I think they're gonna wait till the anime is English and see how it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, currently the anime is Japanese and I'm watching it.
Well, that doesn't mean anything, James. There's a lot of people who don't watch anime because they can't understand it, and they wait for the dubs.
Subtitles, but
James, people watch the dubs though.
True. People do watch the dubs.
I do.
Like, I know what you're saying. I watch in Japanese, but the point is, people wait for the dubs so they can actually, you know, kind of be multitasking and understand it more.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
But so, I think we're going on to our topic because it leads all together.
Yep.
Future weapons we hope to have, and this is something that I hope to see in this. Like, so different new weapon styles that we hope to see. This is not including aerial adept because it's going to all tie into that. At least for mine, it is. But I guess I'll start off because I actually spitballed it with you guys earlier.
Yeah, you spitballed this. We spitballed this for about 2 hours yesterday.
Yeah. So specifically mine is I want a gauntlet / fist fighting type style. And what I imagined from like what I was coming up yesterday is that it'd be something similar to Insect Blade. But not Insect Blade. So like you upgrade different styles to it, or you have to drink something. So like the Juicy Blades, you have to upgrade them specifically on like it could be something completely different than all the others. But then you could upgrade it into attack to where you move slower, but everything is going to be more forceful and attack oriented. Or you could do speed where you're just going to move like lightning, and then like that could be like tying in. So like Insect Glaive, when you get the bonus skills from it, you hit more often.
You hit more often, or when you upgrade the Kinsect, you can upgrade it for speed, stamina.
Yeah. No. But I'm talking about the upgrade specific ones where you hit more after you get the upgrades. You know.
Yeah.
Where you get more hits in per thing. So that's what I'm thinking of. It's so like if you do speed type, you'll hit more in a shorter period of time, but they'll be weaker. But then when you go power, you're going to hit slower, but it's going to be, you know, much more powerful. And then I was thinking that, like, what if instead you can choose right and left, and so each one can do something different. So your right hand can punch faster, but your left hand can do the power moves. And then it ties into where both the attack moves can be your right and left. It'd be like they could figure it out.
Essentially, it would remove the R triggers. Well, it wouldn't remove the R trigger specials, but it would remove the basic combos for your attacks in favor of more of a system where it's pressing X, A, and R in tangent to perform the combos. However, X and A specifically are controlling the left and right fists.
Yeah. And then, like, so what you got also is that was something we came up with is counter similar to like something Little Mac does. So you might still take damage, but it would be lessened, but it would be like such a tight window. And I would imagine that if you're in a depth style, that window will be larger.
Yeah.
But it's such a tight window. I would even imagine that Aerial might get rid of it too.
Aerial.
We'll get rid of it. We'll go on to like what the styles.
Awesome.
We'll go on to what the styles do in a second. But like, so like there'll be a counter that you have to hit like X, Y, or whatever. Probably whatever the attack's going to be closest to, your left or right. You know.
Yeah.
Just imagine to add some difficulty to it. But like so. Like imagine that, and then it'd be a counter, so you can go back and like push it back. At least some of the damage, I would imagine to be not really superpower based, you know.
Yeah.
Like those counters.
Yeah.
But then like if we go into styles, obviously guild style will just be the basic bare bones. I'd imagine how cool would it be if like you just hit a bunch, if you jump in the air and just go.
Hold
on. That's actually a special that we came up with too.
Yes, it was.
But so adept would be more about the countering, and then the counter would be far more effective. Aerial's just jumping up and kind of like spinning and then hitting them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure what Striker would do.
It would probably just give you. You know,
combos.
More powerful combos, but you'd be slower in movement.
Yeah, I would imagine that would be where you want to go with the power fists.
Yeah.
Like which would honestly sound really cool if that was a thing.
Yeah, but then you're gonna start moving a little slower, even more so with the power fist. So it's like, so do you want to lose a bit of an attack with the speed fists, but you're still hitting, like you'd be rebalanced back because of the striker?
Yeah, because we would get 2 skills though.
Yeah,
like I could
striker
imagine
gets 3. Striker gets 3.
Well, I could imagine okay, so I can imagine in striker maybe we get a skill for kind of like a stamina lock, because I imagine so power would specifically knock your stamina out way more than speed.
Yeah, like every punch it's essentially like dual blades where you're constantly in demon mode, but every punch is using some of your stamina.
Yeah, like I would imagine that would be that, and I also imagine that there's no really putting your weapon away. You're kind of just always in it, so you're always in a kind of speedy form. But that's where the adept. You're always
walking around like you're in dual blades, essentially.
Mm.
Yeah, but you do essentially move faster, I should say, right?
Yeah.
You guys are? Yeah. If we go base for superpowers now, obviously one would be the aura. The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, because there's actually a JoJo cat that we're not getting yet, but
Rapid Punches of Destiny.
Rapid Punch of Destiny. I could also imagine kind of like a Kamehameha.
I'd like to see there'd be the crazy, just like fast but weak aura, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure punches, but then there'd be like that awesome super powerful one punch.
Yeah, we could get one punch or a shuriken, actually.
That doesn't insta kill the monster, but it doesn't it does as much as Brimstone Slash 3 at full charge.
Oh, something I just thought of that might help these weapons even better though. They're incredibly good at stunning.
They'd be more blunt based.
Well, they wasn't even just blunt based. It's like how hammer, when you hit the head. It's like how when you hit the head, it'll stun because you're punching.
Well, that's also because it's blunt. So essentially,
there are strap ones. Remember, we did come up with mods of
variants.
There are 2 types. There's blunt, where it's always a closed fist and would be different based on everything. Yeah, but there's also open claws.
Yes, the claws would be for cutting, and the closed fist would be for stunning.
Yeah.
So essentially, the 2 variants of the Kinsect, where you have a cutting Kinsect and you have a stunning Kinsect.
Yeah, but that's tied directly into the type of weapon you build, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Yami, weapon.
Yes, I was thinking this the other day, actually. I noticed we don't have any more long-range melee weapons, because I noticed we only have the insect glaive and the lance.
Yeah.
Think of combining the lance with the insect glaive, but having 2 blade-ended spear points on the weapon.
So twin spears.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. You could spin them around.
Yeah, you have the speed of the insect glaive user with the strength of the lance without the shield. So you're focusing more on hitting it than defense.
So it's a lot
like great spears?
Yeah. Kind of like great spears. I think you'd only really carry 1 though.
Yeah, exactly. You're carrying 1 and you basically 2-handing it anyway. And
when you were describing it, the only thing I was thinking of when you described it was I was thinking of a nunchuck, but it had spearheads, so it was just long spearheads that you could just whip around.
That's a weapon we should see in Monster Hunter. Let's get some nunchucks.
Actually, no. Now that I think about it,
let's go.
Giant nunchucks, so it's more of like a chain blade or mace. A mace would be cool.
I was thinking that dual maces.
Dual maces, that'd be interesting.
Well, I don't know. Dual blading would be hard, but could you imagine? Remember in Hyrule Warriors?
Great mace.
No, remember in Hyrule Warriors the spike ball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Imagine that as a weapon where you just
That's a flail. Actually, that's a flail.
I know what you mean, but I'm thinking something bigger than that.
It's still a flail if it's attached to a chain. A mace is actually the stick and the.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be flail, but without the stick at the end. It would just be the chain, and you kind of just throw it. So we could get a chain chomp weapon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be some cool DLC. A weapon I really want to see, and there's a couple weapons I want to see. For one, Tonfa.
Because
they have them in Monster Hunter Online, And they have them in Frontier. And essentially, Tonfa, there's one combo that I keep seeing with Tonfa where you can jump up in the air and you literally bash them in. And what's interesting about the Tonfa in Frontier and Online is that they like extend out of the shorter area, the shorter side of the baton for like a punch, which is really cool. The way they have them moving is really cool. You'll have to see it for yourselves, but it's really cool to see the way they're moving. They really are, and I really hope they program another weapon into it. But this kind of also ties back into what we might see for the Direct, because we only have high rank in Generations. Are we going to see a G rank? Are we going to see a Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate or a Monster Hunter Generations G? So MHGG for the West. I don't know.
It might just be a whole entire new one.
Well, only time will tell at this point. But
I mean, we'll find out Thursday, and by next week, we'll be able to discuss it.
We will be able to discuss it. One thing I do want to say though, for sure, I want a chain sword, a sword, and you only get one of them. You don't even get a shield with it. You start. It's a sword. Imagine the speed of the dual blades, right? The speed of the dual blade. Actually, it'd probably be on par with the dual blades, but you'd only get one of them. And literally every time you swing, it's literally a chain sword. So in between each individual section of the sword is a small chain, and you can extend it, and it's essentially a whip sword, which is really nice. That'd be really cool to see. And the way it functioned is obviously you'd have a lot of spins and jumps with it, and it'd be really cool because in the air you could jump off of it and then just do this crazy cyclone spin downwards on top of the
whip
monster.
would just be cool anyway, too.
A whip would be really it's a whip-based weapon, but a whip sword would be really cool, so it could cut as well. Yeah. I mean, whips technically cut regardless.
I just thought of one also. That would be pretty damn cool. Also, but imagine fire chains.
Oh my god, yeah, just flaming chains. That'd be awesome.
So we just make Ghost Riders. So we have the Hell Hunter jacket.
Oh my god, yes,
the skull, and then we just use the fire shards, and that would be a funny challenge. But no. So hear me out, right?
Yeah.
You probably already know which weapon I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But its own style. I want a scythe.
He wants a scythe.
I want a long scythe too, because I just imagine it would be
so what? So
similar to God Eater's scythe type of thing.
Speed of the long sword.
The thing about it, I think when you think of this, combo heavy longsword.
The longsword is the longsword is not drastically combo heavy. The longsword can be combo heavy.
What you're thinking of is not as combo heavy as I'm thinking of dual blades or sword and shield.
Okay, so
not on par with them either.
Maybe not
charge blade.
Not dual blades. Charge blade actually isn't that great combo wise. I can see it being sword and shield. Well, I can see it being sword and shield based.
Before you start, you got to think of how many different moves you can move out of with your combos on Charge Blade.
True, that spin at the end of all your...
Yeah, between switching all of them and everything, it's more combo heavy than you're thinking of.
True.
But what I'm actually thinking of is it's a bow staff
Okay.
So you kind of swing it around like a bow staff, not insect glaive.
Yeah.
But I mean, insect glaives could be a good base, but I mean, it's there's no bonuses to it really.
Yeah, so you're looking at insect glaive combos essentially.
Yeah, it's just heavier insect glaive combos, or at least if not matching the speed of it, but you just whip around a scythe.
That'd be
But
awesome.
the thing about it is that it can also have those types where it is just a bow staff, but it is mostly scythe where the thing is invisible,
That'd be cool. Size would be interesting because that involve a lot of spinning and going for the chops. The pullbacks, which would be it'd be in a combo, it would be you swing down, spin around, catch the other leg, and then all of a sudden you just pull it.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. It's I would imagine it's more spin-based moveset.
It's very cutting-based as well.
It's very cutting-based, spin-based, and I just think it works really well with the thing. And then imagine the creepy scythes we're going to get.
Yeah, can you imagine a Gormagala scythe or a Giganox scythe?
Giganox scythe in and of itself is what I wanted.
Giganox scythe, which I'm really disappointed they didn't bring back for Generations. I really want to fight the Giganox.
How about a Nachos scythe?
Narcarcus scythe?
Narcarcus
The
would-
skeletal scythe? Well, no. Well, his weapons really aren't
That one would be a little bit weird because all of them have been kind of not. Oh, they've been good looking, but they're not great weapons.
If you upgrade them to the astral, they're good damage wise. They're not good elemental wise, but they're also good slot wise.
I'd imagine Kashala would be cool.
I'm not gonna fight a Kashala for a scythe. Are you kidding me?
I just imagine it would look cool though.
Oh yeah, be
Like-
no. Can you see like a twin-sided scythe with like Teostra Kashala mix? That'd be cool.
I'd like the thing about that though is that it doesn't really feel like a scythe to me if it has one on the other end. I mean, if it's for looks, I can see, but like it's literally I want just a long.
Well, that one's
handle.
more for looks. That one's more for looks.
Yeah, that would be
How
more
about,
looks. But
a scythe was made out of gold and silver, Raphael.
That'd be awesome. That would be
like,
sick.
like the handle's silver, but it's literally
blade
like
is
a
gold.
solid gold blade.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
I
That would
want
look
this
sick.
now. I'm gonna be disappointed, but like
I want drawing. That's it, Capcom. I want drawings now. That's just like.
well, no, it's literally one of those things that I can imagine be an easy implement, and it doesn't have to be overly complicated like some of the newer weapons, because it
Sure.
just there's no transformations. Would might have something similar to the soul form of longswords, to maybe where the more you combo and junk, you just power up a meter.
Okay.
So it could be like a soul capture meter. You know what I mean?
Like kind of like the demon gauge.
A reaper meter.
Okay.
So I guess it's just like as you do more, you'll get the meter, and then you just have boost in power. Okay, maybe what I'm thinking of for it is something combo of insect glaive style with longsword getting your meter up, but then having a meter something that you can use as charge blade.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it would be a perfect combo about. And I want to be I want weapons based around speed and the most combos you can get out of it.
Yeah, a lot of weapons based around speed though are usually pretty low on damage.
That's not the point though.
However, running it through the damage calculation, it's a bit. You know how the Monster Hunter damage calculation works. You could take a 250 base greatsword and it would be equal to a 160 base longsword.
Exactly. Like it'll even out, but I just want to look cooler, like with how you swing it around, because I want it to act more like a bow staff. That's the thing, on how you like swing bow staffs and just be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like it's like a toss up between bow staffs and size on how they work. But I mean, either or is the kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
And I also don't want to deal with the insect. I mean,
You've
it's
gotten
fine
pretty
now.
good at it this game.
Oh yeah, it's fine, just because it's so much fun. But I'm just saying, like, not having to worry about other upgrades while just having the combo heavy speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no,
so
I can see that.
I think that's all our topics actually.
We got one thing left actually to cover, and that is the armor set of the month.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, you're right.
The armor set of the month, I have it right here. It is I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we're going to go over what the armor set has. I have built it in Generations. Let me see if I can get it on the screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Is that perfectly clear? That seems perfectly clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is a
click on
mix.
his-
That is a Silver Rathalos mixed set. It is also known as a set that I have also called Ultra Critical. Essentially, what the set is not only going to be boosting your critical hit output, it's going to be not only boosting your critical, like I said, it's not going to be only boosting your critical output, but it's also going to be boosting your critical damage and effectiveness of your crits. Found by a player while I was playing. His name was Nemesis. Nemesis, thank you for the set in particular. The set is composed of the Hayabusa Feather, which is a pain in the ass item to get, really. You have to do every village quest to get it. However, that comes with immediately critical eye +2 on that alone. It is composed of the Silver Soul Mail, so the Silver Rathalos chest plate, and these are not gunner variant. This is blade variant only. The Silver Soul Braces, the Valic Flauds, and the Silver Soul Greaves. Now, the required talisman for the set is a bit of a tricky one to farm. In order to get all the skills on the set, you need a Dragon Talisman specifically, with Sharpness +5, Expert +10 with 3 slots.
Damn.
It's very tricky to get. However, at the end, the skills that you should have on the set are Razor Sharp, which halves the rate of your weapon sharpness decreasing. Critical eye +3, which boosts your affinity critical hit rate by 30%. Weakness exploit, which increases critical damage on parts that your attacks are highly, or increases, I believe it increases critical chance or critical effectiveness on parts that your attacks are highly effective. And critical boost, which boosts your critical hits from the standard 125% damage output to 140% damage output. And if you combine it with a weapon like the Legendary Twins at max upgrade, which has 60% affinity with critical eye +2, you're looking at 70% affinity plus a lot more damage. On top of that, and it's, of course, if you run the aerial dual blades with Wolf's Maw on top of that, your critical hit rate is going to go not only through the roof, but you're going to end up bodying more monsters than you can count.
We started up strong here.
Yes, another good weapon that this is going to run through is actually going to be the Adept Shigeru Magala Greatsword in the game, which at max upgrade has a standard, I believe it is, hold on, let me check because I do have it in the game here.
Oh, before you do that one, though, also any Agnactor thing is going to work really well.
Yes, any Agnactor thing is going to work well. It has currently, I'm not switching this, I'm equipping it because I need to see the boost. It has standard, and mine's not even fully upgraded yet. Currently, I'm one upgrade away because I need the Shigeru Magala Foss gem, but at max upgrade for the Shigeru Magala Greatsword, Shigeru Magala Greatsword's base affinity is 65%. At max upgrade. Combine that with critical eye +3. You're looking at 95% critical hit rate.
Shit.
On top of weakness, exploit, and critical boost, you're almost guaranteed a crit every single swing. And
those crits are strong.
And those crits, and keep in mind, those crits are not doing 125% damage. They're doing 140% base damage from their normal. So the weakness exploit is going to boost that even further on parts that are very effective and when you get high opportunities. It is literally just a great set all around to run. I'm actually almost done with it. The only thing I actually need is the talisman. I'm trying to grind that out right now. But that is the set of the week, and I want to do, and I really want to thank Nemesis for giving us this set for this month. Next time we will have a different set.
Also important to say, we may have played with Nemesis for years now because he's shown up, at least someone named Nemesis has shown up in every one of our games.
And we think it might, Louis and I are thinking it might be the same guy.
Well, we used to play with him actually for like a few weeks. Like he kept jumping on it. So in our
it might be the same guy because he was really good. So it might be the same guy, but he ran the set he ran with the Hellblade Switch Axe with I believe it was Guild style, which was interesting because the Hellblade Switch Axe only gets 5% affinity, but he must have had something on it as well. But that was the set he gave me. And any high critical weapon, look at Silverwind, Nargacuga.
Yeah,
having that high critical rate on those dual blades. Plus the set.
The Tigrex thing, doesn't that have a high one too?
At max upgrade, it does.
Yeah.
But this is a beautiful set for anyone who really wants to body monsters quick with just consistent critical hits. So once again, I do want to thank Nemesis for giving us the set. And I do want to say, if any of you have any good mix sets that you'd like to post, we will be taking suggestions for that. So you can leave a comment down below on mixed sets.
Even questions to ask us,
Even questions to ask would be great as well. But that is our armor set of the month. Next month, we will have another armor set for you as we do
need to grind them out.
Not only do we need to grind them out to show off what it looks like, but we also need to build the sets, but we also need to do our research on what skills are going to go well together with what set. So
Yes.
With weapon too, that's another thing.
Yes, well, the weapon combination is very key along with a lot of these sets. So make sure you guys put the weapons in there as well.
You know what? If anything, that just spitballing an idea for next time. Why don't we just do a support set? Because I think we have a few that might help.
Yeah, we do have a few support sets, and we do have a couple hyper offensive sets that we already will be going over that us three in general have created. But this week, for the first Monster Hunter podcast, we wanted to start out with we wanted to start off with a bang with a set that another player has created, which is, I have to say, freaking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
So I. Sorry.
That's it,
So I
that's
guess that's it.
I
for
guess
this
that
week.
I guess that
Yeah.
is it for this week. We have covered everything we wanted to cover.
it. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, isn't it? Next week the new DLC comes out.
Next Friday. No. Actually, hold on.
No. Actually, I think it's after next week.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
No. Next week it should come out.
Oh, we
Next
might
Fri-
finally get.
ne-
We
next
might finally
Friday.
get the catch we've been looking for.
Next Friday is Friday the 4th.
Oh, we gotta figure this out.
Not counting this month, so we'll have to see what DLC we get. But until then, we will probably see you guys on the next podcast next Monday, same time.
Yes.
And then we'll probably discuss the direct too.
Yes, we are
Yes.
definitely going to be discussing the direct next week, so look forward to that. And I think next week we're also going to discuss, through our history of Monster Hunter, our favorite experiences. Honestly,
I don't know. I
Entire
probably
time.
said most of mine.
I don't know. Like our favorite experiences,
got more.
favorite stories. Well, we got plenty to share. And I think one other thing we're probably going to do is discuss probably our top 3 armor sets in a group. Like all of us are going to collab together on that and figure out what top 3 armor sets, full armor sets, not mixed sets, that we really, really like.
Fully upgraded too.
Fully upgraded.
Yes.
Yes. Gotta have to be fully upgraded.
That would be the important part.
Yes.
Yep.
That is.
If there's any other topics people want to discuss with us, just let us know in the thing. Questions.
Just throw it down in the comments.
Yeah. If you need any help on quest lines and stuff, we can give you the information on our next podcast, maybe as well.
If you want us to discuss a specific monster, maybe.
Throw that in the comments. Whatever you guys want to see us do that's Monster Hunter related, if you're a fan, throw it in the comments. We'll see what we can do on next week. And I think we'll see you guys later. So I'm saying J-Man777. Signing off.
Yami, you want to go first?
I'll let you go because we're doing it in.
That's true. All right, it's me, LK. This has been a lot of fun. We've been working on this for like a few weeks now. Be sure to like my art piece because that was fun.
Yes, we probably forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
That Louis had created the background art for our podcast tonight.
Yeah.
The thumbnail for the channel.
Yes, the thumbnail.
So like another
for the
thing
channel.
about it is that that's not the final thumbnail. That was just like a few days of work. That was actually 1 day's work all the way through. And so I'm gonna make a cleaner one in the future. So I just want to say that before people criticize my art skill.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this has been me, LK.
Yes, and this has been Yami Owen, and thank you for everyone for joining our podcast. If you saw the link from the Monster Hunter group or from the Discord side, well, hopefully we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Frenzy Cast!